It's Week 16 in the 2023 NFL season. The Steelers season is on the line this weekend when they play on Saturday against the dreaded Cincinnati Bengals in the home finale at Acrisure Stadium. I'm here to answer your questions, man. Let's get into it here. But before we do, make sure you click that subscribe button and join the most interactive Steelers community here on YouTube. We have these weekly mailbags so that you guys can have your voice heard on the show. We also have 2 live shows every single week to have your voice heard as well. We have a weekly watch party for every single game and then a live show breaking down the events and news and rumors of the week. We're actually recording this during the live show, so make sure, click that subscribe button. Join us for our live shows on Wednesdays to get your questions on the mailbags. And with that, I'll pause and open it up for questions. And Byron Davidson says, call Tom Brady. Nah, man. Nah, fam. That's just not going to happen. It seems like Tom is content with where he's at right now. And if you bring him in, he's got to learn a completely new offense, all this different stuff, blah, 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 blah. This ain't happening. I think it's probably tongue-in-cheek here, but Tom Brady, not going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, at least not this year. Then we got one from Dominic Schrader. Says, got the choice of Dobbs or Baker next year. Who you taking? I'm taking Baker. I have to take Baker. I don't like Baker, but I want to win football games more. I do not trust Joshua Dobbs to win football games for this team next year. I just don't. All right, so I trust Baker more. I think that his stats this year have actually been pretty decent. Over 63% completions, good yards per game number there from Baker this year. The offensive line is okay. It's certainly not great. Maybe they're overperforming expectations this year. I think PFF has them ranked 14th in the National Football League. But what's really impressive there is that touchdown to interception ratio. Mayfield has been kind of a poor decision maker throughout his career, but this year, keeping it to just 8 interceptions. And he's been really effective in the red zone at 24 touchdowns. So let me know down there in the comments section, who's the better quarterback between the two? Is it Kenny Pickett or Baker Mayfield? Type KP if you think Baker, or if you think Kenny Pickett's better, or if you think Baker Mayfield's better and you think he'd be a better quarterback for the Steelers than Pickett, type BM down there in the comments section. This is also going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. And we got one from Damian Roy here. It says, are they going to bench George Pickens? If they do, it's only going to make this worse than it is. So I don't think they're – so Mike Tomlin came out today and said that they're not benching him. He's playing, all this different stuff. I think they're frustrated with him. But at the end of the day, man, you got to try to win these last 3 football games, and George Pickens gives you the best chance to do that. And if you take him out of the lineup, who are you going to play? Like Calvin Austin III and Deontay Johnson, 2 kind of smaller receivers for a backup quarterback? Not sure if that's a recipe for success. So I think that George Pickens is somebody that they may consider trading this offseason. But right now, I think that he's definitely going to play unless he has a complete lash out and he punches a coach or gets in Tomlin's face. I really don't think that Pickens is going to be benched at any point during the final couple weeks of this season. I got more questions to answer here coming up here on this week's mailbag. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor at Game Time. And Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. This is your last opportunity to get tickets for Acrisure Stadium Steelers games because it's the home finale this Saturday, December 23rd against the Bengals. You can get tickets on Game Time today. It's the lowest price guaranteed, guys, so you don't have to go searching a bunch of different ticketing apps to find a lower price. It's guaranteed on Game Time, all right? So it's the only ticketing app you need on your phone. It's a super easy interface to use as well with their app. You get views of your seat before you buy them. It's absolutely fantastic, super easy to use, and super convenient. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are also sent directly to your phone, another great feature, so you never have to dig through that pesky email to get your tickets. Snag the tickets now without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SteelersChat. One word, all caps. It's right down there in the bottom right. Steelers Chat, all words, all caps, one word for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SteelersChat. All caps, one word for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. This one's coming in from CM Punk. Says, do you think we can make the playoffs with our schedule? I know Seattle will be tough. I just don't think we'll be able to beat 2 teams fighting for the playoffs. So the way that I feel about this right now is that the Bengals, all three of these games are winnable. So the Bengals game is winnable because A, we don't know how well Mason Rudolph is going to play. B, we already beat them. C, we're at home. And D, it's just too good of a story, right? A quarterback named Rudolph coming in 2 days before Christmas to literally save the Steelers season. Come on, man. Mason Rudolph's throwing a game-winning touchdown in that one. Then we got Seahawks and Ravens, both on the road. Tough to go into Seattle and win, especially because they just beat the Eagles, so they're feeling good about themselves. But this is a team that's really bad situationally. Bad on third down, bad in the red zone. The Steelers can take advantage of that, especially if they can turn over Geno Smith or Drew Lock, whoever's playing quarterback at that point. I would expect it's Geno by week 17. But also Kenny Pickett comes back week 17. So this offense should get better for the final 2 weeks. So if you can get past the Bengals here, I think the Seahawks are definitely beatable. And then you also have the Ravens. And although you're on the road, the Ravens are definitely a better football team than the Steelers right now. Lamar Jackson has always stunk against Mike Tomlin defenses, man. I don't know what it is with Lamar against the Steelers, but he stinks, all right? So if the season's on the line, the Steelers need a win in Week 18, it wouldn't shock me if the Pittsburgh Steelers pull off that victory and find some way, somehow, to win 3 straight to get into the postseason despite this latest 3-game skid. Then we got one from Thomas Bridge here. It says, if you had to bet on one quarterback to be the Steelers' starting quarterback in 2024, not named Kenny Pickett, who would it be? So if I had the bet, so that means a prediction, not who I want, I would say the most likely Kenny Pickett replacement this year, probably Justin Fields. All right, now I know a lot of Steelers fans don't want to hear that, but you got to look at the facts on the ground here. He's still on his rookie contract, so the Steelers can afford him. He's a very dynamic talent, especially in the run game. Tomlin went to the Ohio State Pro Day when he was coming out just to see him work out, right? He loves him some Justin Fields. And also, I think that if they go out and get Caleb Williams with that number 1 overall draft pick, which is perfectly possible, they're going to be trading Justin Fields, and I think you could probably get him for what Carolina got for Sam Darnold, a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick. I think that's a pretty decent compensation. And although it's a high-risk, high-reward type of move, I think that if you hit on it, this team could be competing for Super Bowls as early as next year. Now let me know down there in the comment section, who's your guy? Who would you like to see as the Steelers starting quarterback here in 2024? Do you want Kenny Pickett? Do you want Justin Fields? Do you want Baker Mayfield? Do you want somebody else? Let me know down there in the comment section. Who would you like to be under center week 1 of the 2024 campaign? Let me got one from Nevia Benson. It says, if you had to pick between Kenny Pickett or Justin Fields, right now, Justin Fields is the better quarterback. And I know this is another hot contention on Steelers Twitter, but Justin Fields is the better quarterback. All right, he's a better passer than Kenny Pickett is at this point in their careers, and that's not even taking into account the rushing element. We actually did a video last week breaking down the stats between Justin Fields and Kenny Pickett, just the passing stats. And Justin Fields is more accurate. He's more efficient moving the ball down the field. He has way more touchdowns. And that's not even it's just not even accounting for his legs, which are elite. So I do think Justin Fields, at least right now, is the better quarterback. Now, in a new offense, could Kenny Pickett get better? Absolutely. But if you had to ask me right now if Justin Fields is an upgrade over Kenny Pickett, I would have to answer yes to that question. And then we got one from Young Noticeable 25 here. It says, you know what, F it, since we're doing hypotheticals, Tomlin and Pickett to Chargers for Herbert and a draft pick, bring in Bieniemy as head coach. Guys, we need to stop with the Justin Herbert shit. All right? It's not going to happen. All right? I don't know how many times I have to say this. And I know he says, let's pull out hypotheticals. All right? But that's not going to happen. Why would the Chargers trade a top 5 quarterback talent for a quarterback to this point who has stunk, and Mike Tomlin, who's a head coach that they could absolutely get without having to trade their number 1 quarterback? It just doesn't make sense, man. I don't know why the Chargers would even think about it. I don't know why Steelers have this infatuation with this idea. But here's the thing. We're going to nip it in the bud right now, guys. It's not going to happen. Justin Herbert will be a Charger in 2024. All right, we got one from Champ. It says, there are a ton of whispers going around that Tomlin may decide to leave the Steelers on his own. Any chance that actually happens? Now, never say never, guys, but I think that he still wants to be here. I think he sees the potential here. I think he sees that we still have T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr. is just getting started. Keanu Benton's just getting started. George Pickens, hopefully he can turn it around from a behavior standpoint. Deontay Johnson's still very talented. You got a really great receiving tight end in Pat Freiermuth, an offensive line that's getting better than it has been in seasons past. Jaylen Warren is a budding star, right? You have pieces here. If Tomlin just gets the right offensive coordinator, cough, cough, Eric Bieniemy, and he gets the right quarterback, who knows who that is? If you get those two pieces right, this team is a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. So I don't think Tomlin really sees a reason to leave. I think he feels like this team is close, and I think he's going to be this team's head coach in 2024. But let me know down there in the comment section, what is the % chance that Mike Tomlin is the Steelers head coach in 2024? Put it on a scale of 0, meaning no chance, or 100%, meaning he is 100% going to go, or he's 100% going to stay. So let me know down there in the comment section what you guys think. Can't wait to see you. And that'll be it for this week's mailbag. Make sure you click that subscribe button for our weekly mailbags, our live shows, all these different things that we have. We got breaking news coverage during the offseason. So if you never want to miss any big Steelers news items, make sure you click that subscribe button and join the Steelers Talk family today.